Hi guys, my name is Garrett Vita. Hope you're doing well. Are you developing a property and are unsure of what a topographic and a boundary survey are and what they look like and why you need it? Stay tuned. This is the video for you. So in any development, we have a piece of vacant land. But in order for us to really know the lay of the land, we get first a boundary and a topo survey. You can get this from your local surveyor, and they can do both. And so what a boundary survey is literally just the boundary of the property. And so as you can see here, we have a nice rectangle here. As you can see, there's different longitude and latitude as well. So it describes where the property is located and the actual boundaries of it. And so for those who never heard what topographic survey is, it really just shows you like the hills and the valleys and the actual contours of a piece of vacant land. So if you're in a mountain, it's going to show, different steepness. If you're in a valley, it's going to show different steepness. When you see these lines, it shows like where the texture of the land is. And when you see how the lines have different distances from each other, will determine how steep or how not steep they are or how shallow they are. And so when you see lines that are closer together, that means it's steeper. So say you're at a mountain, right, and you're looking at a topographic survey, those lines are going to be super close together because as you get to the top, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. While versus more wider areas, the lines are going to be a lot wider because there's nothing there to really change the lay of the land. One of the reasons why I wanted to come share in this video is because we don't really, especially when you get into development, you don't really know exactly what it is, why you need it, and what it actually looks like. So I wanted to come and share with you what it actually looks like. And so, this is just a single family house, residential lot. So, it's nothing too complicated. Timelines will determine, or timeline is determined by how big the lot is. So this one's 9,500 square feet. So it's really simple, really easy. And so the surveyor was actually able to do it within a day's work. Prices can vary depending on how big the lot is. Just make sure that you get a few bids. For this lot, it was around. I've got bids from like 1,000 to like 2,000, give or take. It also depends on where the property is located as well. One thing I do want to mention is that what's also important is that you can ask the surveyor for a referral to a civil engineer. Civil engineer is responsible for the hydrology, the grading and drainage of the lot. And so the civil engineer needs the survey and topo in order to do their work. And so they usually have a close relationship with each other or are on the same team. So if you have a surveyor, just ask them for a referral and they can give you one really easy and they can communicate easily. One of the things I didn't know, well, I made it a little harder on my part because I went to two separate people, to two different teams. So civil engineer was a different team and then the surveyor was different. So I had to really communicate, pretty much between them, which was kind of like a waste of time when I should have just asked for one referral and then they can communicate with each other. And so it's kind of a lot of back and forth. Another thing that's important when you get bids and you have work from your surveyor is that you make sure that you want them to be able to do your stakes. So when you're getting ready to build your property, the surveyor will actually go to the property and put stakes on as you can see on the map, the corners here, as well as when you're almost getting ready to build, the civil engineer and their architects and all those plans will be on an actual architectural plan. And so the surveyor, when you're in the beginning and still have the vacant lot, they will come by, put stakes on where the building corners are and the blue top is, so that your GC or who's building it knows where, like, hey, this is where the pad site's going to be, this is where your farm's going to be. And so they have a reference point of like where they should start. Yeah. So surveys such as this are super important. For all surveys is the same as topos and boundary. just for commercial property. So they'll tell you the same thing, but with auto surveys, they tell you a lot more in depth, but are also definitely more expensive as well. So this gives you like a really layout, and so this does come into play as well when you have flow control. And so they'll really look at this, how hydrology is, and they'll use those markings on here to determine like, will it meet flow through requirements, meaning if you have a house in the middle of it, will there be enough water and enough space on the sides for the water to drain naturally? Because you do not want a lot of water accumulating on the pad site and the construction or the building of the house, because it's going to mess up the house at some point in time. And so they just want to make sure that the water just flows through correctly and such. Thank you guys so much for listening, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.